Welcome to another video in the MallincamSky series. Today we want to talk about how to customize MallincamSky. I'll show you what you can change and how you can play with some of those controls. So first thing you should always do is, as usual, connect your camera and let's start MallincamSky. As you can see, I'm using the SkyRaider 432 and it is connected to a USB 2 port. Means the speed won't be as fast, and just for demonstration purposes, again, I'm shooting my favorite lamp so I can do this in the daytime. Now, one of the things you can always do, if you have a look, you've got four major areas. You've got the top area, which has file, edit, and view, and then you have the icon area, then you have the sidebar, and then you have the, let's call it the video screen that's demonstrating what you're recording. Each one of these things can be separated. Now to do that, let's look at the sidebar. So just left click and hold, and you notice I'm just dragging, and as I drag I can move this wherever I want. So let me move this over to this side. Now I'm going to shorten the video window just to give me some more room. So if you have a large screen, you can separate all these pieces if you need to. You see the three dots besides the file, edit. If you left click and hold on that, you can separate that and you can move that where you want. Likewise, the four dots next to the icons, you can grab those. So left click, hold, and drag, and put those where you want. Right? So you have the ability to relocate these guys and choose the sizes. If you have multiple monitors, slide one to another monitor, and this way you've got your video separated from the actual, let's call it the major controls and the headings and the icons. Now if you want to put it all back together, the easiest way to do that is at the top of the separated pieces, just double click with your left mouse button. So that put the sidebar back home. That put one of the headings with the icons and with the words, and I'll just bring this thing back up to full size. So that's one of the cool things that you can play with. Other adjustments you can make is if you go to the options and you go to preferences. This is where, and we will have videos, I'll have videos on each one of these guys, but this is where you can change the default locations for videos or pictures. You can tell the MallincamSky what, let's call it image files it can open. You can create your target list and add more, import more, even export. You can adjust your grids. All right, and you can even have the ability to place on any of the corners and any of the sizes information about your camera and what it's doing. Right, you just can activate that, and you have the ability to choose what pieces of information are stored when you save a image in a FITS format, and this is called the metadata. Now, in miscellaneous, this is where you've got a lot of power. So you can see there's a lot of checkbox, and it's worth your while going through here. And I usually leave most of these things to the default, but you have the option. So you can remember the MallincamSky splash screen. We have the ability to turn that on and off when we start. You can turn off Windows screensaver. You can, if you use auto exposure, you can tell it exactly where the preferences you'd like it to be and what ranges that you'd like to use. And if you're Canadian, you probably use Celsius, and if you're American, Fahrenheit. You also have the ability to turn on and turn off certain options upon startup and certain options with stitching. And this is kind of cool. On your sidebar we have all these commands, but you can actually tell it which commands you'd like it to see. So for example, I've got everything chosen, but if I want to get rid of, let me just show you them there, and then I'll disable it. So let me just go over here, and let me just shrink down this so we get some more room. So you can see I've got everything over here. Let's go to Options, Preferences, Miscellaneous. Scroll down. There you go. And I'm just going to start picking from, let's say, frame rate. That's over here. I'm just going to turn off frame rate, bit rate, color, flip, rotate, sampling, ROI, digital binning, histogram. I'll just uncheck those, apply, and when we go back to our side panel, you notice that they're all off. They're not available for us. So you have the option. If you don't use something, you don't need to see it, you have the option at least to actually turn it off, and so it's not visible. But since I use all of those, let's go back and reactivate them. So let's go click these guys back on, back on, back on, back on. There we go. There you go. Perfect. Some of the other things that you like to do is like I'm using this certain gray style, but some of you may want to choose other colors based on your preference. So if I choose Lunar Blue, you'll notice I get a different color. I can use the window style, visual, those who like Visual Studio, aqua. Yeah, pick and choose what you need, and I like I said, I like obsidian black myself. It's a nice gray. And if English is not your primary language, feel free to choose one of these as the default languages, right? You also have the ability, if you've got any, and I've got a couple of graphic processors, so I can actually have the system utilize these. I'm happy with no, but if I really want to use the Intel or the GeForce, I'll just activate that, and it just makes the processing happen a bit faster, and it takes off some of the CPU time from my laptop. And the final thing you can change is the maximum number of recent files. So when you sometimes are looking at what you've saved and done, and usually when you're over here, you have these recent files. You notice I've got these are the 4 last recent files, but I can increase that to any number I want, and then I can actually clear them out. So that gives you that ability. Now, way over here, there's 2 more. Now, there's this preference wheel, which again, just like what we've seen before, but besides the preference wheel, there's this customize. Now, if you click on that, we have the ability to add and remove buttons and toolbars. So this allows us to choose what we would like on the icons up here. So if you would like to remove a certain icon because you're not interested in that, go down to toolbar, and let's say for some reason I'm not interested in the thumbnail, I'll click off that, and you notice that it disappeared from here. So it allows you to activate and deactivate certain icons that you may or may not require. You see you've got a list. Now if you mess everything up, of course, you have the great thing of just hitting the reset toolbar. It says, do you really want to do that? And I say, yep. And it puts it back to where it was. There is a thing that says customize, but I think this is for later on, because they're looking at some point being able to have and add what appears in these file name headings. So in file, these are the appropriate headings, and at some point we're going to have the ability, or it looks like the software engineers are going to have the ability for us to adjust it. So you can see right now it doesn't allow us to change anything, but things for the future. So like I said, play with it, choose the color that you like. I'm always happy with the default systems, but you have the ability through the preferences, the customize the toolbar, and the ability to grab and drag and double click to put back to adjust the headings. Like, you also have the ability to turn on and off any of these controls in the left sidebar. So there's a lot of power inside MallincamSky for you to adjust the basic parameters to your needs. So hopefully you enjoy the program and you like what you're seeing. And if you have any questions, don't forget, log on to our user group and pose the question and somebody will get back to you. So again, clear skies and thank you for watching.